Alright, on today's edition on Cooking with Marzie, we are going to make ribs. Alright, I start out with, I go and find me a pack of the baby back ribs from my supermarket. I usually don't do the large ribs. I like the little smaller ones because I don't have a large family. So the baby backs are easier to cook the way I'm going to prepare them, because these can be done in the oven, in a gas grill, or even a big green egg, and these will turn out perfect every time. Alright, first step, obviously, we've got to get the ribs out of their pack so we can prepare them. So I just use a pair of scissors or a knife, whatever's handy. And I've drained them over in the sink. Okay. Okay, our next step, we want to get us a large sheet of aluminum foil that will completely cover our ribs and wrap them. I like the Reynolds wrap, super heavy duty. The heat won't burn this. It won't tear easily when you take them on and off the grill. It's just some good stuff. Alright, we want to put our ribs on our aluminum foil, center them up, and then we're going to take our rub and put on it. Okay, you can use whatever rub you like, or if you've never done this before or never made a rub, you can get very high quality rubs that will make these ribs perfect. I like this Stubbs product. The Bud Byron's product is really good also. But if you're on a budget, your local supermarket pork rub or grilling rub for ribs and pork will do just as good. But the better products like the Stubbs will make these absolutely fantastic, and you'll be the envy of the neighborhood. Okay, so what we want to do, we're going to dry rub these ribs. So we take our rub and we shake generously onto the ribs. I will put one layer on, and we want it to dry a bit. We want this to become very dry on each side. Just keep adding it on, very little at a time. You just want to coat the ribs down. Alright, when we get one side coated, we're going to take our ribs, flip them over, and coat the other side. We want both sides. We want the flavor to go all the way through while they cook. And these are going to be so fantastic that your mama's going to slap you twice. Alright, see how nice and dry that's becoming? What this is going to do is seal in the moisture and seal in the flavor. And you're pretty much going to use up either half the shaker on each section of ribs, so don't be shy with it. And here we go back the other side again. Just shaking it on, lightly sprinkling it until they're nice and coated. And what I'll do, once it's coated down, you pat it in. Just keep patting it down. We want it all rubbed in. That's why they call it a rub. It's not a sprinkle, it's a rub. We get all this good stuff and just rub it right into the ribs. And at this point, it would be best if you kept a towel handy, because this is the messiest part as we squish this into the ribs. Look at that. Okay, once you're finished rubbing all that good spice into the meat, it should look like this. See how nice and dry it is? You want to keep sprinkling it on, then patting it down. Just gently pat it into the meat. And it'll get to where you feel no more moisture on your hands. Then it's ready to seal up. And you see how nice and coated this is. We want to do this both sides until it's evenly coated on both sides like this. Okay, now we're ready to seal it up. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And this is very simple, but one of the more important steps. This is what makes them so good. You want to take it and fold it up the middle and just seal it over. Really good. You want to make sure nothing can escape. And nothing touches. Alright, you want them in a bag, an aluminum bag. We want no air to escape, no moisture to escape. We don't want these ribs to be all dry and crispy. Now, see, that's perfect. There's an air space on top. They're only touching on the bottom. The juices will keep them moist enough while we put them in the grill. Now we're going to go to the grill. Okay, we've got our grill ready. It's at 250 degrees. So we want to take our ribs and we want to put them on the top rack for 3 hours on the top rack at 250 degrees. And then we're going to come back after that 3 hours, then 1 hour outside of the foil open. Okay, it's been 3 hours at 250. It's time to cut them open and let them cook for another hour or so, maybe sometimes 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how well they've cooked and how heavy your ribs are. So now we need to, what I like to do, this is going to be hot, so I take my scissors and I'll just cut them on open. Ouch. And we might even have a look-see at them, what they look like. Look at there, look at there. Now what I'll do is I'll move them to the bottom rack. Look at those ribs. Look at that, look at that. It won't be long now. These are so well cooked, I'm going to say at the most these are going to take 15 to 30 minutes, but I'm going to go on the conservative side and say these are 15 minutes. I will see you for dinner here in a little bit. Okay, our ribs are off the grill. Mine only needed 15-20 more minutes. Yours may need 30 to an hour, depending on the weight. So now we're ready to serve our most awesome ribs ever. Alright, to make it easier to cut and more attractive, these are so tender, we flip them over, if I can get them to unstick from the aluminum foil. Okay, now we can see the bones. So, typical servings, 3 to 4 ribs, and these are going to be so soft, they'll just tear right out. Look at that. Done. And we lay them on the plate, like so. And then, we need some of that awesome potato salad from the other video. Look at that pretty potato salad. And what would barbecue ribs be without baked beans? Now my baked beans came from a can because this is not a gourmet show. This is the Cooking with Marzi show, and we make things easy. Now, just to be sure that these ribs are palatable, I will try the first one. But before that, we have to discuss barbecue sauce. Now I know my ribs don't need barbecue sauce, but some people like barbecue sauce on it. This is Williamson Brothers. It's a Georgia barbecue sauce. You don't hear much about Georgia sauce. This is from Marietta, Georgia. This is a good spicy vinegar base. I really like it. Or if you like a more thick brown sugar based sweet sauce, the Corky's is really good. So either one, I like both of them. I'm just going to put a little bit of Corky sauce on that rib. And Let's see how this tastes. Too bad you're not me, because I've got this, and if yours aren't ready yet, you're not eating yet. Oh my goodness. Yep. These are so good. It'll make your mama slap you. Twice. Well, you have a great day. I hope your ribs were as successful as mine. And enjoy Cooking with Marzie.